Hi guys, how are you doing today? It's your boy Yale once again. Today we will continue to discuss the role of a web producer or a web editor, content editor, anyone you want to call it. As I've previously mentioned, this role has a few names to it. You might call the same person a web editor, you might call them web author, a content producer, a content author, a content editor, call them CMS editor. I've seen some called HTML CSS editor, website managers, and so many more. So who is a content producer? A content producer is a person who actually manages the website for an organization using special application software or special tools called the Content Management System, CMS. Today we have all kinds of CMS such as WordPress, Drupal, Magento, Sitecore, Adobe AEM, Umbraco, Power Apps, and so many more. I cannot even remember all of them. So every day, every month, we keep getting new additions to the list. If you think about the software development lifecycle, there are different people who actually participate in bringing success to the whole project, right? Right from the planning phase up until the launching phase of the website. You have the project managers who manage the project, then you have the UI designers who actually design the project, then you have the UI developers who code up into HTML using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and other libraries to actually bring life to the designs created by the UI designers. Then you have QA testers, and then you have the web producers who actually bring everything to life. The web producer is very important, is a very important personnel in the whole team, because they are the ones that then work hand in hand with other members of the team, including copywriters. They get the copies from the copywriters, and then working with the web developers, they understand what templates need to be used on what page. The home page needs to use a different layout. When I say template, I just mean like a layout. The About Us page needs to look differently, so they know what templates needs to be used, and also what text needs to go to the header, what needs to be in, what kind of assets or what kind of media file needs to be in the banner, and so on and so forth. Let's look at some of the websites that we have open here, and then we'll discuss about the roles of a web producer. Actually, look at this website. For example, this is a gov.uk website. You should know that this website did not just turn up by itself, and this website, although you've had all kinds of professionals contribute to the development and the launching of the sites, all of this content that you see right here have been added by the web producer. Everything you see right here, everything you see right here. The homepage layout, if you think about how it looks, it will be completely different from any other page that you open. For example, let's say we open this in another tab. Look at this layout. It's not exactly the same as the homepage. And then see how this particular page called the British citizenship page looks like. It's totally different from how the homepage looks. So a web producer needs to understand the differences between all of these templates and what needs to go where. The web producer needs to know how to lay out all of this contents given to him or her by the copywriters and where things should be. Let's look at another page. For example, this is Barclays website. If you look at the Barclays website, all this content that you see right here have been added by the content producer, content editor. All this layout here, although they've been developed by the developers who are like 247 writing codes, The web producer makes use of the templates that the web developers have built, and then he or she brings it to life by adding all the necessary contents, copies, media files to the templates page. And when everything is published, this is what you see. Similarly, I've got another one open here by HSBC. All of this content here have been added by the web producer. The media files that you see here, this is like a video. You can also download the transcripts. Everything you see right here have been built by the web producer. So the web producer does not need to write any code. They don't even need to know much code, but at least they need to understand the basic HTML, CSS, so that when there is need for it, they can then go in and make use of these skills. Look at BT, for example. This is a different website. As you can see, it's got a different layout from that of the homepage that we landed on. Each and every one of these things that you see here have been added by a web producer, working hand in hand with copywriters, the developers, other members of the team. Now look at Amazon. Do you know that there are certain pages which have been created by dedicated web producers working with Amazon? Of course, you have those which have been created by customers themselves, right? You know, like if you have an Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon web page, then you have to manage those things for yourself. However, there are other listings which have to be controlled by web producers who are dedicated strictly to Amazon. All of these things here, as you can see, they've been added by certain people. That's the work of a web producer. If you click on this, for example, today, and you see the price as maybe £32, tomorrow morning you come here, you see £30. I mean, there is someone behind the scene who is actually setting all of these things, right? Yeah. Let's go to another website. This is Daily Mail, popular in the UK. All of these things that you see in the news here have been added by content producers or web editors. You see, all of these things that you see right here, they've been added by content producers. Here is another website. This is a property listing website, popular in the UK, Rightmove. Do you know that all of these listings here, these have been added by content producers, by web producers, teams. These are the responsibilities of web producers. They've put in a banner here, that's like from some form of adverts. So a content editor, a web editor, actually manages the website of an organization. Here is Sky, for example. As you can see, these are like fresh news. Do you know that there are people who are behind the scene actually adding all of this content every minute? Basically, they are managing everything, editing and updating content on daily basis. That is what you see content editors doing. Here is Met Office, for example. You know, all of this content that you see right here, these are not just being generated automatically. There are people behind the scene who are making all of these changes, who are adding all of this content, you know, on daily basis. So you can see there is so much need for a web producer out there. If you go to Google and you try to like search for jobs, let's just like go to LinkedIn and see what they've got there. You can see there is tons and tons and tons of jobs out there. Here is a content editor job, you know. These are like basic things that they always ask for. Content editor, another one just 2 hours ago. These roles are out there and they are constantly looking for content editors, web producers to come and do these jobs. And I'm telling you, sometimes it's really hard even to find someone to come do the job because not many people know about these jobs. Not many people. It's one of the hidden gems in the field. Here is another one by Money Farm. You see, here is Gov the UK, you know, and these are exactly like, they are very similar, right? This one is using Contentful CMS, you know. It's a brilliant job, you know. You starting with this kind of salary, look at that. And then, you know, digital editor, homepage editor. I mean, there is so much job out there. Web content publisher. Remember, I told you it's called all kinds of names, but you just need to like click into the description to understand a little bit more about what it's all about. If you have just a little bit over a year experience editing or producing websites, you have if you have used Episerver or Contentful, you know, if you know about Google Analytics, and these are the things that we'll be teaching people in the training. Content publishing using different CMS like WordPress, Contentful, Episerver, Umbraco, Sitecore, AEM, name it. We have a long list. So if you are interested, just remember to contact me through the link below. You see, the web editor role, the web producer role, it's a very significant role. Again, like I say, it is a hidden gem. I have had conversations with a few web developers who are newbies in the field, and they have really found it difficult to put their foot out there because they are shy, or maybe because they are just nervous. So I just advise them that why don't you put in for a web publisher role or a web producer role. By so doing, you will be able to use your skill sets as a developer, you know, but then you won't have that pressure of coding every minute, every hour, every day. But at the same time, understanding how the organization works, how the team works, you will learn so much. By the time you're spending a month, 2 months within that role, you are already building your confidence, and you will be ready to actually put in any web developer role that they have open in that company. Or if you want to move on to somewhere else, it's up to you. This is what I'm talking about. There is so much opportunities that you can unlock for yourself when you come in through this field. You can imagine having worked, say this kind of company, for example, if you've worked with them and you've helped them to like build their websites, pages, you can add to your CV at any point. No matter what role you're going for, you want to go for a cybersecurity role, go for data analytics, go for anything at all, you can always add this experience in there that I know about websites, I know about how websites work, I have done this and this and this, managing website for this organization, managing different website for this organization, or managing their intranet and so on. So in our training, we'll be teaching people about different types of CMS, how to use different CMS to actually update websites. We'll be teaching how to use WordPress, how to use Drupal, how to use Joomla, how to use Shopify, how to use all kinds. So I'll say by the time you've learned a minimum of 5, you are ready to hit the market and hit the ground running. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop here today. If you have any questions, just remember to drop me a message using the email address down below. Have a nice day.